Good morning, students. I am Munshi Doshidul Islam, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, JIS College of Engineering. Now, today again we have discussed about the same module, that is actually in the first module, and today we have discussed the different types of force which is actually acting on the different area or different plane where it can be acted on some certain angle. So now let us see the main topic. That means the force system. So a force system which is actually collection of several forces that will acting simultaneously on a body in one or more planes. And if you see the figure here, the four forces are also acting on some certain force system, that will all the forces passes through the point. That point will be O, and the forces are F1, F2, F3, F4. So that will acted on some certain force system, and that will provided the different angle force acting on some certain plane. Now the coplanar force system, the force that will continuing the given system lie in the same plane, and so the coplanar forces system can be classified as per as per the classifications that will describe in below. So force system, mainly two types are also be there. One is coplanar forces, another is non-coplanar forces. So coplanar forces can also subdivided into two parts. One is concurrent forces, another is non-concurrent forces. Now concurrent forces can also divided into collinear forces, non-parallel forces, and non-concurrent forces also divided into two types. One is parallel forces, another is non-parallel forces. Now in the right hand sides, non-coplanar forces can also subdivided into two types. One is concurrent, another is non-concurrent, and non-concurrent forces also subdivided into two types. One is parallel forces, another is non-parallel forces. Now these are the definition of some force system. So when two or more forces acting on a body, they are called the form of system of forces. Now the following system of forces are important point of view in the force analysis system. And that means the system of forces can also classified in the following terms. The first one, coplanar forces. The forces whose lines of action lie on the same plane are known as coplanar forces. Next, collinear forces. That means the forces whose line of action lie on the same line are known as collinear forces. Concurrent forces. The forces which meet at one point are known as a concurrent forces. The concurrent forces may or may not be collinear. Coplanar forces, coplanar concurrent forces. That means the forces which meet at one point and their line of action also lie on the same plane are known as coplanar concurrent forces. Now next, coplanar non-concurrent forces. The forces which do not meet at one point but their line of action lie on the same plane are known as coplanar non-concurrent forces. Now next, non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. That means the forces which meet at one point but their line of action and do not lie on the same plane are known as non-concurrent non-coplanar forces. And coplanar non-concurrent forces, that means the forces which do not meet at one point and their line of action do not lie on the same plane are called non-coplanar non-concurrent forces. Now next point is free body diagram, FBD. To study the equilibrium of a body, it is imagined that the body, the support are replaced by the reaction exerted on a body. So is diagram of an isolated body which show only the reaction, acting on the body is called the free body diagram. That means when a body is isolated from the any support, but we can show the reaction on the body, that on that situation we can tell that the body is in free body diagram. The following steps are followed by a drawing at free body diagram. So these are the actually body in free body diagram cases where a space diagram, that means two rollers are resting on some certain cases, and FBD for sphere 1, that means sphere 1 cases FBD is actually in this scenario, and the second one is FBD of sphere 2. So Newton first law, second law and third law, we know these, but here explanation is needed for the further study of the in the mechanics subject. So first law, we know, everybody know the first law. If the resultant force of a particle is 0, the particle will remain at rest if originally at rest, or will move the constant speed in a straight line if the originally in motion. Law 2, that means the acceleration of a particle is proportional to the resultant force which is actually acting on it and in the direction of the force. So in the above law is applied to the particle of mass m, and it may be stated that F is equal to m into a, where F is equal to resultant force, A is equal to resulting acceleration on it, and m is equal to mass of the body. Now third one is law 3, that means the forces of action and reaction between the interacting bodies are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, and obviously it will collinear. Now law of sines and cosines. So some suitable formulas, some formulas are also be there, and you have to find the law of sines and cosines. So in law of sines angle, that means the side by opposite angle, that means it will actually coming from the Lami's theorem, where the total side length A, if the three sides are A, B, small b and small c, and the corresponding angle that will be capital A, capital B and capital C. So as per the law of sines angle, that means small a by capital sin A is equal to small b by sin B, sin capital B, and small c by sin capital C. That means here capital A, B, C are the angle, and small a, B, C are the sides. Now in opposite sides, law of cosines, that means c square is equal to a square, side c, small c is equal to c square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab cos capital C. Now next, c square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos d angle, that is actually the law of cosines. Now law of superposition of forces. So it states that the acting of a given system of forces on a rigid body that will remain same even we added or subtract from them another system of forces in equilibrium. So for the cases, principle of transmissibility of forces, that means it stated that the point of application of a force may be changed to any other point along the line of the action of forces without any change in external effect. So if you see the figure, suppose A1 scanned figure, we have added this slide because these slides are very important to understood how to the forces can acting on a body either in along the line or with some external forces if I apply. So in first figure only in one forces that can be applied in the external sides. So F is applied at point A. Now if you see the figure 2 where the force is applied either in push form or pull form, so both are the system of forces under the action of force under the line of action of the force without changing in external effect. Now next point, very important point, that is actually parallelogram law of forces. Now the parallelogram law of forces states that if the two forces acting simultaneously on a particle are represented in magnitude or direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then their resultant is represented in magnitude and directions by the diagonal of the parallelogram, which is actually passing through their point of interaction. So if you see the figure, the two forces acting simultaneously at point O and to the adjacent sides figure, that will be actually with some certain angle, that angle is theta, and the resultant forces which is actually acted some angle to the first one to the horizontal, that will be alpha. So R is equal to root of the magnitude of the two forces are F1 and F2. So R is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta, and the tan alpha is equal to F2 sin theta by F1 plus F2 cos theta. Now where the F1 and F2, that is actually forces whose resultant is required to be found out, and theta is actually angle between the F1 and F2, alpha is actually angle which is actually makes some certain angle with the resultant force, and that will act between the R and F1, and these are the conditions of the equilibrium conditions under parallelogram law of forces. So tan alpha is equal to F1 sin theta by F2 plus F1 cos theta. Now some correlation are also be there. That means if theta is equal to 0, that means when the force act along the same line, that means that means the cos 0 degree is equal to 1, so r is equal to f1 plus f2. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, so on that cases theta is equal to r is equal to root of f1 square plus f2 square, since cos 90 is equal to 0. If theta is equal to 180, then the force acting along the same straight line but in opposite direction, so that's why r is equal to r1 minus f1 minus f2. Now if the forces are equal, that means f1 is equal to f2, that is equal to f, that means r is equal to root of f1 square f square plus f square plus 2f square cos theta. So then after putting all the values, we can get r is equal to 2f cos theta by 2. That is actually the correlation between the in these 4 cases. So thank you for today's class. And now next day we have discussed with a new topic and new module and also a new topic. Thank you.